Hello, my friends. Let me present you Wolfenson, who is amazing photographer. He is highly respected photographer in Brazil. He have an amazing biography. He also have Bessarabian roots. Thank you very much, Mr. Wolfenson, for your time.
Okay, thank you for the invitation. So I'm ready to talk, to speak, to tell stories, or to know more than I can say. I can tell you.
We know you have Bessarabian roots. Please tell us your family story.
So I don't know much, but I know that my father and his family came to Brazil in the 20s, and they stopped in the northwest of the country, the city called Recife. It's a capital of the state of Pernambuco. And from there, they made a migration to São Paulo, where I'm living now. And his family, I think, is escaping from the pogroms in the 20s and stopped there is a story that they were supposed to go to Buenos Aires, but the trip was so bad, so difficult, and they stopped in Recife, and they put the head over the ship, and they say, "Oh, we're gonna stay here." It's an accident that they stay in Brazil, and that's the thing that I know. And the Jewish family, of course. So that's it. That's what I know. And for the whole life, I heard that they came from Bessarabia, but we didn't know the city. We didn't know from where. I thought that my grandfather came before, 2 years before, and then they brought the family, the whole family, with my mother and my father. The other brothers and sisters of my father was born in Brazil.
But your father was born in Bessarabia, yes?
My father was born in Bessarabia.
What they did in Brazil in the beginning? What profession have your?
Yeah, I think my grandfather was a seller of knocking door to door to sell things, and that's the beginning of his life. Sell, I don't know what he's selling, but I think he's selling small things to houses and hardwares and something for that.
Your parents stay in Recife, but after he come to São Paulo, yes?
Yes, that's it.
Why?
Because São Paulo was the big city of Brazil. It's starting to be. Now it's the huge city, is the biggest city in Brazil. But at that time was developing and starting to, was becoming the great city. The main city at that time was Rio de Janeiro. That was the capital and was the city of the culture, of the money, of everything. But São Paulo start to increase, start to develop, and then I think they, because he had some cousins here in São Paulo, And then this connection, this kind of connection, the developing of the city, so they decided to come to São Paulo.
How big is your dynasty in Brazil?
Well, I have my father and my mother in Brazil. I had, they passed away. They passed away, and I have some cousins, a lot of cousins, and cousins of my cousins, and cousins of my father, and cousins of my grandparents. So I don't know how big it is, but there are a lot of this last name, Wolfenson, in Brazil. mainly in Recife, the city in the northeast. Then when the city where they disembarked.
Were all of your family or your father family come to Brazil or rested in Bessarabia, some relatives?
I don't know that. I think they all came to Brazil. They probably had some friends and connections with people in Bessarabia, but I think they all came to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
That's my conjecture, but I'm not sure about that.
We need to work to find your relatives in Bessarabia.
Yes.
Exist documents. We work with that. Please, let's speak about your parents. What he do for life?
Well, my father was in the beginning, he studied medicine, but he doesn't complete the course. He doesn't complete the course, and he became a rep of big industries here of tissues, of tissues, and in the 60s he started a own business that is making clothes, but in 70s he died. He died in 1970, so he didn't have time to build the business as he wanted. And my mother was working in a Jewish institution that helps Jewish families to installed in Brazil, to come to the country, to help poor Jewish people to organize the life, and that's it.
Let's speak about you. When you understand who you like to do photography?
So when my father died, and I was looking for a job, and because I need to work to help my mother, and the job that I found was in a studio, a photography studio. And then I went there. I didn't know anything about photography, but I know it was a job that I had, the possibility that I had this job. And I started to work there, and I started to create a relation with the passion with photography. I was 16 years old. And since then, I beginning my career, and I stay until today working.
Huge experience you have.
Yeah, huge experience.
I read you create the journals or the books about photography. Now, in the period of digitalization, is also attractive for people that?
I think so, because it's a sort of tricky situation, because more you see in the computers and the telephones.
Mm-hmm.
You need to touch something physical, and the books got a status of something very exclusive, very special. And there is a market for that. There is a huge market in the world for that, for books now.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's something different of day-by-day life. So because you can touch, you can see, you can stay, you can feel the smell of the graphic, you can touch the texture of the pictures. So it's very different from the experience that you are seeing in the computer or in the telephone.
Mm-hmm. What do you know about Moldova, maybe about Bessarabia?
A little, because I know it's a country now. Bessarabia became Moldova. That's close to Ukraine and to Russian. It's in
Romania.
Romania.
Romania, between Romania and Ukraine, yes.
Between Romania and Ukraine. That's why sometimes I thought that my father came from Romania, because that status in the end of the 19th century, in the beginning of the 20th century, I think it's not clear about which country they are. They belong to many countries, different countries, and they have relations among them. There is no with the country that they are geographic installed. You agree with this?
Yes. Between 1918 still 1940, Bessarabia was part of Romania.
That's it. That's it. That's why my father told us that he came from Romania.
Yes.
That's it.
He was born in Romania, but also in Bessarabia.
Also in Bessarabia, also in a Jewish shtetl.
Yes.
Probably.
In Chișinău, in this period, 46% of population was Jewish. In capital,
46?
40.
At that time. At that time. And
that
now?
time. Now it's small. 1% maybe.
Mm.
In your family spoken also in Russian or in Romanian or only in Portuguese?
Yiddish.
In Yiddish?
Only Yiddish. I think they don't. I didn't meet my grandparents, because when I was born, they was passed away. So I didn't meet them, but I don't know if they spoke Russian, Romanian, or Yiddish. My father spoke Yiddish and Portuguese, and my mother is from Poland, and they together spoke Yiddish.
You have plans to come to Moldova to see your house of your grandparents, or to find your roots?
If I found it, because I went to Polonia, I went to Poland to find my mother's heritage, and I went to her house, the house of my grandpa and grandparents there, and it doesn't exist anymore. So only the address, because it was in the middle of the ghetto. So the Germans destroyed everything, and then the Russians came and destroyed the rest of the rest of was. So I'm very curious about that, but I don't know if there is any clue, anything that I can follow to find this heritage.
If you have some documents, we can try to find something.
So I'm gonna ask my cousin. She's in charge of this genealogy of my family. So I'm gonna ask them.
Let's speak about photography. You work only in Brazil or in other parts of the world?
I work a lot I travel a lot. And I do works for some other countries too. So, but mainly in Brazil, because Brazil is a very big market, and it's a very huge country, and I had a lot of work here to have time to go abroad. But I went abroad to do something for Brazilian labels, Brazilian companies, and I did a lot of trips for these people. And now I'm beginning to put my artwork in the world. So I am in the beginning of this task.
Let's give, please, one advice for young photographers from Moldova. How it's possible? How it's possible to make money from photography?
I don't know the size of the market there. So it depends on, sometimes you have to emigrate. You have to go to countries that you have a market, biggest market there, to fight with the concurrents there. Like, I know big centers like Europe and like Western Europe, no, Eastern Western Europe and America, but maybe Asia too. I think you have to work for people, but you have to do your own. That's the point. That's the tricky situation. At the same time that you are doing for others, you have to think that you are doing for you. That's my advice. Because originality belongs only for you, only for one person. So that's the thing that is worthy.
You say you have the exhibition of photographies, yes?
Yes, a lot.
Who are the people who visit this? It's the same people who visit the painters or is the another people's?
Sometimes it's the same. Sometimes is photography is public, so photography audience. There is a very big market for photography as an art, as in exhibitions, in books. So I had an exhibition here in São Paulo in 2018. 10,000 people visited the exhibition in 2 months. So it's a lot of people.
Yes.
So, yes. So, of course, comparing to other things, photography is a little thing in the world. It's small, smaller than the painter or sculpture or visual arts in general. But there is a market a little bit for how can I say that? It's a niche. I don't know this word in English. Niche.
Yes, I understand. Yes. In
Romanian,
in Romanian is also niche. Yes.
Niche. Yes. You speak Romanian or you speak what language you speak? Do you speak?
Romanian, Russian, little English.
No, you speak English. Romanian, but your mother language, which one?
Romanian.
Romanian.
In Moldovan, all people can speak in Romanian and Russian. All the people.
So very different languages.
Yes.
Because Romanian is Latin and Russian is Slavian. So it's difficult to...
Please tell about your photography. What you prefer to take on the photo? So,
photography for me is it's a kind of it's a form and my expression, my personal expression. So I I go through many disciplines of photography. So I do fashion photography, I do portraits, I do nudes, I do architecture, and I do my own work. So that I decided to photograph this pencil, and I developed something about this. So that's the, I think if there is any originality in my work, the originality is the possibility of going through this many disciplines of photography and going with I'm going through this comfortable, like I'm doing something, the portrait today, and tomorrow I'm going to do architecture, and then I go to an assignment for a magazine, then I go on assignment for advertisement, and the other day I'm doing my own. That's the richest situations that I can do. That's the thing that I love in photography, to be photographer. That you can go all over the world. You can meet people that if I'm not a photographer, I couldn't do. So that's I have a sort of a passport to go to meet people, and to meet people very interesting and very important, and so that's it.
When you come to another country, what is the first what you take on the photo? maybe exists one tradition to take something.
So I do some. I'm thinking to show people how interesting is this, how different is the country, how different of my reality, of my own country, or my. I photograph to show to my family. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this bar. Look at this street. Look at these people. Look at this situation that I'm living here, and that's I think my first impulse to photograph there. Then, if I stay a long time in any country, I can start to think things more personal, or more. I have more intention to do something that could become part of my work. But in the beginning, when I first stop in some place, I have to show like this, photograph, 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 photograph. But now I do this in mobile phones. That's very easy and tell the same story.
If you want, you can take the Moldovan citizenship, because you have the right to do this. And with Moldovan citizenship, you can travel to countries from ex-USSR countries without visa.
So that's nice. And I have the possibility to get the Polish passport too.
Yes. Yes. Exists the difference between people, culture of people, what you remember most, what you like to see in countries when you visit? Maybe you like to be present at festivals. Maybe you like to test the culinary. What do you do?
Yeah, I think all of this. I like to meet. I love to. When I was younger than I run. I run through the cities that I was visiting, just by myself. I put my sneaker, and that's a way to know the place, to see, to live, to live the. No, that's not the word. So to know the country, to know the city, to know the people, and then I love to eat. I love to see, to talk to the people, to see different parts of the world. So I'm very curious. I have a lot of curiosity about other countries and about other cultures, and mainly when these countries or these cultures is very different from the Occident.
What we need to do, Moldova, what we need to do to invite you to place on exhibition in Moldova? You want to do this?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. But it's very. I think we have to prepare this very strong. So to do something that is values for you and for me. And I think it's, of course, I want to. I want to do something in other countries, and mainly in Moldova, because my roots, and we can find an issue that is show this connection between me and Moldova. So, or not, or I'm just going with my own work and putting the walls there. How many people lives in Moldova?
2.5 millions.
2.5 millions, yeah.
You need to take the camera because we have a lot of beautiful girls. It's true, because it's more ethnics. It's in our blood and are more beautiful girls. But we have a beautiful place who have a big history, because Moldova have a history of thousands of years.